Hey guys, it's Steve Gleason with Carter Flow, and I'm here with
Keith. Carter.
Keith. All right, bro. What did you do over this past weekend?
I played Blackwings at YCS Philly, and I went X4.
X4.
But I made it to day 2.
Made it to day 2. Okay. Well, you want to talk about your tournament, or you want to show the deck first?
Um, I'll talk about the tournament. So, I'm gotta kind of goes against the grain. I don't really play meta like that. I've always been a guy that never really played meta, but so I wanted to play a deck this weekend. Over this past weekend, I was really comfortable with, and I just said, well, whatever happens, happens. And I started out going 6-0 against everything that was considered meta at the time. So
Yeah, and you got the feature match, right?
yeah,
Up
I
on
had
the
the
Konami
feature.
Black.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. I played against Labyrinth, and that was kind of fun. So my first match was Super Heavy Sam, and it was my first time I used Blackwings against Super Heavy Sam, and I didn't think it would be that easy. I'm not saying like Super Heavy Sam was trash, but it was it was that easy because the Burn Dragon just taxed them until they couldn't do anything, and then after that. Was Pearly. Pearly was a good matchup, but then I just hit him with Gozen match and he couldn't play. And then 3 straight Super Heavy Sam again, and I was like, all right, this is getting annoying, but I won all of those. And then my feature match was against Labyrinth. That was probably my best match. Shout out to Gunther, who I played against. And then after that, I lost to Branded. I didn't see not one Ash. I said, okay, cool. And then after that, I saw Cash Terror. I beat the Cash player. Then I played Cash again, and I just lost. But shout out to the ban list because I won't get non-zone locked anymore. but yeah, and then so I made it to day 2, and then in day 2 it was nothing but cash. Like my last 2 matches was like nothing but cash, and it was just like
Yeah.
it's the meta, you know what I mean? It's just there's a meta for the reason. So
No, but that's awesome. You got so much farther than
yeah.
anyone would really expect to, especially playing
Yeah,
Blackwings. So.
I expected to go day 1, probably X3 day 1. That's what I expected, but I really went 7-2 day 1. With my only losses being Cash once and Branded, so I didn't lose the Super Heavy Sam, I didn't lose the Pearly with this deck. So I'm kind of impressed. There's only a couple little tweaks I'd have to make here, but other than that,
All right.
let me get to
Awesome.
deck profile. So
Yeah, let's get to it.
first is Simoon. Simoon is if you open this up with another Blackwing, then you pretty much have full combo. You just banish the Blackwing for cost, activate a Black Roman from the deck, and then immediately normal summon it. So it doesn't even count as your turn's normal summon. And then you can just search whatever. And then normally my search target for that will be Suji, which I consider like the best one in the deck. Suji can search anything in the deck that has Blackwing Dragon in this text. So some of the traps or some certain monsters in here you can search, and then also you can tribute one other monster you control and give yourself a level 2 tuner token. So when it comes down to like making certain plays with like different monsters and variations, you can do that. Only got paid 700 damage, but 700 life points, but it doesn't matter. Also, next is Shamal. Shamal is one of the new cards that came out in Dabble, just like this one. But all you have to do is send this to the graveyard to activate a Black Feather Whirlwind from the deck. And also, when you special summon a Dark Synchro monster, you can banish it for cost and add a Blackwing back to your hand. So it's good for recursion plays too. But also, you'll just pay 700. But normally, when you have Blackwing Dragon on the board, it doesn't matter. It is other damage. One of the best combo starters is Vada. Vada, it can special summon itself if you control another Blackwing. Also, it can synchro summon from the deck, so it'll send just to get a Blackwing Dragon. So they all just have to equal 8. So you can send this in Simoon, you can send this in Zephyros and another level 2 just to get that. This is probably one of the best cards in the deck. Probably the best card in the deck. Then I'll just go more generic, older Blackwings. 2 Zephyros, the Elite. And my one nose is Harmattan, Gale, Hiroshi, and Ulster. And where is that? Oh, and Steam the Cloak. Steam just came off the ban list. Now it's at 3. I probably will still leave it at this ratio. I don't really need
How
it.
many times did you have attack points with Gale?
So funny thing, I did it against a cash player one time. All he did was go a Rysar pass. I opened up Imperm the Rysar. He had no back row. And it was kind of weird because I only had Gale and a Zephyros, and I had a Black Feather Whirlwind. So I had used Gale, used Zephyros and Gale to go into Raikiri, use Feather Whirlwind, Reborn Gale, do it again. And then I went from level 7 to level 10 for Full Armor Master to go for game.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then one of the new cards from Dabble also Chinook. Chinook is like effect veiler for Blackwings. As long as you control a Dark Synchro monster, you can activate this from the hand. Also, it'll send calls from the.
Is it a quick
board.
effect too?
Huh?
Quick effect too?
Yeah, it's quick effect if you have a Blackwing, Dark Synchro. So it's not even specific to Blackwings. If you have a Dark Synchro.
That's awesome. It's really good to like layer your interactions so that
Yeah.
they can't like deal with your field and you still have something in your hand too.
Yeah, and normally like this with Abyss, I have like 2 like
two negates.
interruptions. Yeah, 2 negates. And all this does to resolve it, all you have to do is send a Blackwing from the extra deck to the graveyard, which comes into play because sometimes I'll just send Voice Storm. I'll get into that later, so that way I can just go into Blackwing Assault Dragon. And then I use Radiant also for my Small World Bridge.
Kaijus are good.
Kaijus are really good at this format. I played 3 Ash Blossom.
Not much to say there.
Not much to say,
Ash.
and a lot of people playing Droll. I did main Droll, but I sided it from now on. I didn't really need Droll as much as I thought I would. Ash came more in the clutch for me over this weekend than Droll did. Because especially against cash players, because all they did was just shotgun shifter, and the good thing about this deck is I can play through shifter. I can make it like solid board through shifter. My next hand trap is probably Imperm, which I consider like the best hand trap in the game. Next I played 3 Small World Bridge. Pretty simple, like
Yeah, and you need to get to Simoon, right?
yeah,
Like, that's the
it's like
important
just
thing.
another copy of Simoon or any other Blackwing.
Right.
So honestly, I used Small World more for Suji than I did for Simoon, which is kind of crazy.
That's nice. Drawn it a lot.
Yeah. And then best card, well, what makes everything go boom is 3 Black Whirlwinds. Kind of self-explanatory. The only thing that sucked is this thing got hit by Ghost Ogre a lot this weekend, but it comes with the territory. This 3 Black Feather Whirlwind. What I like about this is when I special summon a Dark Synchro, I can be born from the Bandit Zone or the graveyard. So
That really lets you play under shifter too.
yeah, it really lets me play in the shifter. But also, what happens is if a monster will be destroyed by battle or card effect, I can remove a Black Feather counter from the board and protect that monster once. And these are soft ones per turn. So if I have 2, I can be born again and twice. So
Right, and
it's
if you bounce it with Zephyros and play it again.
exactly, yeah. So that came in the clutch. 2 Allure. I used to play 3, but I kind of like. I feel like Allure is a gamble, so I might actually try to play Pot of Prosperity or Ring Requital, just because in Prosperity I would probably just banish 3 though. I wouldn't like banish 6 because you need your extra deck. But sometimes with Allure, like I got lucky with Allure probably once this weekend, and it just really I had to go balls to the wall. If I didn't do Allure, I would lose. And then last card is Call by the Grave. A lot of people don't play this. I still play this. Like Call by the Grave can win your illusion match. And then 2 Twin Shadow. Twin Shadow lets me synchro summon on my opponent's turn by shuffling 2 Blackwings from the Bandit Zone or the graveyard back into my deck. And if I control 2 Blackwings, I can activate this from my hand. So I will send 2 Blackwings, a tuner, non-tuner, equal level 8, go silver and send it, pop 2 monsters. Or I'll just go into Full Armor Master. Then I will also trigger Black Feather Whirlwind to reborn
And
something
that's just
else.
a lot of cards they have to deal with too.
Yeah,
Like not even
exactly.
just like actual interrupts, but cards.
Yeah, and then when I'm playing now, like there's 3 goals in match.
This is your side deck?
No.
Oh, this is the main deck?
This was the main deck.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh.
it goes in match. So
That's awesome.
Total 43 cards. It wasn't bad. Let me actually go through my side. My side deck's over here. Sorry. And then my side deck, I played 3 Droll, 2 Nib, 2 Dark Ruler no more. 2 evenly matched. Where is my other Cosmic? 2 Cosmic, 1 Feather Duster, and 3 Anti-Spell. What I liked most this weekend, honestly, was probably Anti-Spell was the best out of this weekend. Droll was cute. Evenly was cool, but Anti-Spell, especially against Cash, like,
No, it shuts off like their whole engine.
yeah, it shuts off their whole engine. And for real, like, after this weekend, I probably would never be afraid of Cash anymore. Not even because of Diablos, but if you just arise hard, pass me in that full combo, there's nothing like I'm not scared of. So for the extra deck, I run 3 Blackwing Assault Dragon. What this does is this burns your opponent for 7 every time they activate and resolve a monster effect. So even if they activate a monster effect, I'll ash it. They'll still burn for 7, and these get your further counter. And what happens is when it has 4 feather counters, I can tribute this for cost, just Zeus the board, wipe the entire board.
Oh, wow.
This works good in hand with Full Armor Master because Full Armor Master is unaffected by card effects. So the last monster I will have is Full Armor Master, and it's kind of GG's because they can't do that. And also, you can banish this. I mean, you can banish a Blackwing Dragon and a Boya Storm, or you can banish a Rykari if you made it with 2 Blackwings to banish it to special summon it. So you don't even have to really
Yeah, you just naturally get to that.
Yeah.
I really like that card, especially against Cash, because they're only out really to the Full Armor Master is the field spell, and having like that extra 100, 200 attack points to attack over it. So that being able to clear that like works with your strategy like so perfectly.
Yep, and then also on my opponent's turn, what I did with Full Armor Master was I had Full Armor Master. He had a Rise Heart. I used a card effect bandage, but it triggered a Rise Heart because it has to it's mandatory. So as soon as he got a wedge counter, I just took it and I just went for game. So
wow, that's really cool with Full Armor Master. Yeah.
Yep. So that's why I played 2. A lot of people like why you play 2. I'm like because one a 3K towers is already hard to get over, but 2 of them is like ain't much you can really do, And then I played 2 Blackwing Dragons.
Ghost
I might cut this down to 1 and play Draco Berserker. I found myself in one situation where I had to make a level 8, and I would have been better with Draco Berserker, but then Blackwing Dragon. But it still worked out. So, yeah. And then another Blackwing I play is Rykari. You can what Rykari does, if anyone doesn't know, is you can pop a card on the field up to the amount of other Blackwing monsters you have on the board. So I came in situations I had to pop 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I had Rykari in the extra monster zone and swung for game that way.
It's really good.
Warrior Storm, the Wicked Wings. It's a synchro tuner, so that's what really gets it going, especially with Blackwing Dragon. What's funny about this is you can Foolish Burial a monster from the deck, and they can copy the level. So what will happen is usually, where's that? Where's Simon? Normally I will have this. I'll send a level 4, and I'll have Black Feather Whirlwind on the board, and then I'll synchro, and I'll have another level 4 here. I would usually have Zephyros here. So now I'll have here will be a Blackwing Assault Dragon. Use Feather Whirlwind, reborn this. Use this in Zephyr because now it resets to a level 6 and go to another level 10, and then banish the Blackwing Dragon in this to just have a 3rd one. So that's pretty dope. I'm pretty sure everybody see it on Master Duel, but I've been doing this before Master Duel. No Thunder Starlight. It burns your opponent for 8, and it gives you additional normal summon and minuses a monster on their board for 8. I remember my first time usually playing this combo. I was in a grind game against Eldritch, and we both were at 200 and for time. So I used Twin Shadow, reborn this, burn him for 8. So every time he special summon, not when he single summon, every time he special summon, he'll burn you for 8. Obsidian Tainer, Hawk Joe, I rarely get this until I do another combo, but he could just be born any Blackwing monster from with level 6 or level 6 or higher. So this is essentially can be another copy of Full Armor Master, Full Armor Master get wiped, and also. This works good with Full Armor Master too, because I have this and Full Armor Master on the board. If they swung it to this, I can just change their attack target to Full Armor Master or effect target to Full Armor Master. So I like Hawk Joe. And then Silverman Ascendant. No one really plays Silverman Ascendant until now because you needed to regular special summon it. I mean, synchro summon it. You need a Blackwing 2 tuners. But now with Twin Shadow, I can just use two materials from the graveyard or Bandage Zone to do this, and then on summon it just pops 2 monsters on the board.
That's a vicious interrupt.
Yeah, so
it's like really mean.
So I had my board was kind of crazy. I had a Full Armor Master. I had two, and then I used Twin Shadow.
And you can use it from your hand, right? Because you control guys, so they don't even see it coming.
Yep. So I used Silverman Ascendant, popped this unicorn in Fenrir, and he was like, "All right, that's cool." I said, "Okay, cool." And then I think that's it for my Blackwings, and then I used Hot Red Archfiend.
Honorary Blackwing.
Yeah, honorary Blackwing. This is just Omni Negate, and then when you attack a monster and destroy, or a monster attacks it, or when it destroys a monster, you can just reborn a tuner. So that's how I just reborn, some of the tuners I use in my deck. And then what's crazy is what people normally don't do. I use Simonson Samsara Zarlcat. What this does is
What about this one?
It can synchro summon, quick effect synchro summon once per chain during my opponent's turn. So sometimes when I go into this combo, I have to be very careful about my timing. But because when I do this, I'll go into Hava Dragon Archfiend King Calamity.
Oh wow!
So what
I've seen this before.
So the combo would literally be Sorrow Cats, Blackwing Dragon, and Orochi. Fine Orochi. Yep, and I'll use Orochi or whatever, and then my opponent will do something. I'll just negate it with whatever. Let's say I have Imperm negated, open game state. Now I'll trigger Soul Cat, go here, on summon King Calamity. What happens is it literally turns off my opponent's turn. They can't activate cards in response. They can't chain to this at all, and they can't activate cards for the rest of the turn. Also, when this card attacks a monster, it burns the opponent for their damage. So that's what I did. I'm really impressed by how much this deck did well. And also on top of that, what I would tell anybody is, like, if you like a deck, just try to configure it to the meta and do what the deck does. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But like, people would tell you, like, I've been playing like this deck for the longest. I'm gonna say since like last summer, because I only started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! 2021. So like, I'm still trying to figure things out. But other than that, man, I'm really impressed with the deck, man. So
that's awesome, man.
I'm not gonna put this thing down.
I appreciate you, sharing. Like you're very passionate about it. So
yeah,
and we love that. And we love seeing it. So, do you have any shout outs you want to give out? Or?
Yeah, shout out to Phenomenal Games, man. David Barnes, everybody who comes and plays here, man. I wouldn't be, half the duelist I am, without, people I play with every week. So I think everybody remembers when I used to play Blue Eyes and I sucked. But then I started getting good with Blue Eyes.
First time I played Keith, I got hit with a bottomless trap hole.
That's very true.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but
it's awesome to see how you've grown. Man.
Yeah, thanks, really man. I appreciate it, man. So yeah, but probably got regional next weekend. I'll probably take this regionals and try to see how good I do. So we'll see, man.
Well, awesome. Good luck, and we hope the best for you in the future.
All right, thank you, man. Appreciate it.